All right, we put the green goddess over here. We put the original carburetor back on it, and it's sitting over here now waiting for our next adventure, which will probably be to take the top end off the motor. And we've got the 441 back up on the lift. This is the one we did the test ride yesterday. Left here with good front brake by the time we got home. Kevin got back to the shop. I love that. By the time he got back to the shop, he had no front brake. That plus the clutch, the brand new clutch that we just put into it, was dragging. So right now we're gonna pull the wheel off and take a look at the brakes and take a look inside the primary if we don't get a good adjustment. And Kevin has Jake in his hand, so I'm gonna stop videoing really quick right now because I don't want you to see how the sausage is made. Okay, we found out that we don't need Jake, that it is in fact
reverse threaded.
It is a left-handed axle, and we used a cheater bar down there to break it free. And now we're taking the axle out by turning it clockwise, which is left-handed. Coming free?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, okay, good. All right, so we're gonna get that front wheel out without using Jake. Okay, we've got the front wheel off, and just taking my finger and going around like this, you can see the oil. And if you look at this over here, what's that? Okay, these are oil soaked. They're going to be replaced. I guess the oil makes them work really smoothly, but that's another good thing. And they're trimming a tree across the street, so you're going to hear a lot of noise in the background. These bearings, you can't really hear it, but watch. I can feel it stopping. You can see it. We're hesitating there. Watch that little guy right there. He's just jumping. So we're going to put new bearings in the front here. And find out if there's any oil at all in here, because I don't feel any oil coming down these legs. So I don't know how the oil got inside this. So we'll see if there's any oil in the front legs. And I'm going to just try adjusting the clutch to see how it feels when we kick it over with the Kickstarter and see if it frees up. All right, so I'm going to put the wheel back on the bike while we order new brake shoes, and I always replace brake shoes and brake springs at the same time. So that's where we are. This guy goes off to the side again while we wait on parts. Okay, this is a little unusual. Like I showed you before, there was a lot of oil in here. I've already wiped it out. But I was getting, and I pulled one of the bearings out, and you can't feel it when it's not in there, but if you put a lot of pressure on it as you turn it, you can feel it grinding just a little bit. So I'm going to order 2 new bearings. Now I was ready to put this back in here so I could put the wheel back on the bike so I can move the bike around. And I was looking in here, and I don't know if you can see this, but let me zoom in really, really close and get a Q-tip. It looks like this wheel hub was just full of oil. I mean, not just grease, but oil. So, and I mean, these are sealed bearings that are on it. I'm going to replace them anyway, just because I didn't like the way they felt. But I am surprised at the amount of oil that's inside this wheel hub. So I'm wondering if, well, I don't know what I'm wondering if. I'm not gonna wonder if anything. I'm just gonna clean it all out, put this back in here temporarily so I can roll the bike around while I order new bearings, new shoes, new springs, and then I'll put it together. So that's where we are. All right, there are 2 or 3 ways of taking brake shoes off of the assembly. The first way is to just lift them up like this, and they will come off. And it's easy. You can do it. It's not that hard. Matter of fact, that's how you put them on. You hold them vertical and then smack them down, and you don't have to put these springs on individually. Another way of getting them off is to just release the springs. And what I've got here is a old screwdriver that I cut a notch in the end. And I take Jake and I put these here like this and just go like that. Okay, here's another off. It's real easy. And I always replace these so there's no worry about damaging them. Now I'm just going to clean this up with some spray cleaner and then put all the bits and pieces in the ultrasound, I like that, ultrasonic cleaner, and see how they do. These are going to go in the trash. Yes, they look good, but they're riveted, they're old, have a strange wear pattern, and this one is oil soaked, so they are not going back in. All right, so I'm gonna do a little cleaning here with, first, you know what, I'm gonna try some S100. Let's see how it does. Let's do a little demo of S100 and see what it does in here. This ought to be neat. If you've never seen S100 before, let's see if I can do this. All right, there we go. All right, let's see what happens when I put a little S100 on it. This ought to be neat. I've never done this before. Never done a demo of this before. Let's see. Okay, let's see what happens. Boy, this is some nasty stuff in here. Wow. That's weird. That is just tough stuff. Get the impression that somebody forced oil right in here, trying to lubricate this. And that's what ended up oiling the whole brake assembly. Well, let's hit it with some clear water and see what happens. Yeah, what the heck. All right, so I'll do the remainder of this cleaning with my good old standby CRC carb thinner. See if I can't get the rest of this off. It's getting better. All right. Better. All right. That's actually clean enough for me to work on. Let's try the S100 on this side. All right, that's pretty clean. Okay, now, somebody's going to watch this and send me a comment saying, Frank, why didn't you just take the Zeus fist fitting out of it and clean it up right here? So I will. Let's see, what size is it? Oh, it's not that one. Let's try this one. There it goes. Yeah, I'll buff that on the wire wheel. Okay, clean enough to work with when I get the new brake shoes. And a heck of a lot cleaner than it was when I took it apart. Okay, I'm going to drop this back on the wheel and put the wheel back on the bike. And that's about as exciting as it gets around here. Well, let's see. It's going on 1:30, and we've been working on this for 41. I'm going to say from about 11:30. Found out that the front brakes were saturated with oil. I'm going to order new brake shoes and springs. Found out that the bearings in the wheel are sealed, but they were bad. I can feel them rumbling, so we're going to replace those. In the meantime, I cleaned up all the brake workings in the wheel and put the wheel back on temporarily so I can move the bike around while I order new brake shoes and new wheel bearings. I did a lot of cleaning. You saw the video. I don't charge for that time, by the way. I do cleaning and stuff like that because I enjoy doing it, and it's out of scope. I mean, client's not paying me to clean parts, but I clean parts anyway. So from about 11:30 to 1:30, I'm going to charge 1 hour labor. So that's where we are. I'm going to put this aside now while I order parts, and basically I think I'm done for the day.